The goal for our Spanish immersion students is that those students will come out biliterate and bilingual by the time they exit elementary school.
At St. Stephen's, so that this community in general could have the advantage of having a child that's biliterate, bilingual.
My daughter to be in the immersion class because I want her to learn Spanish. I feel that's going to help her later on in life.
My husband and I were really excited to put our daughter in the Spanish immersion program. Almost every other country in the world teaches their children how to speak 2 languages. And to have that offered here at our schools is really amazing.
When you become bilingual, you can use both sides of the brain, and that will give them more opportunity to think out of the box and to be more proactive students.
Their brains operate at their fullest capacity. It turns on things in their brains that make them better at math, at science, English even. Studies and tests show that the children who know 2 or more languages perform better in all of those subjects.
It will help them now, and it will also help them be more global, help them compete with jobs around the world as they look to the future and are looking for employment.
She could do international business, she could be a teacher, she could go work in another country.
One of the most frequent questions we get from parents is, will they fall behind in English? Children thrive in both languages and they are succeeding.
Because they are taught how to sound out words in Spanish and how sentences work in Spanish, their minds can then translate that into English.
We already have a large Spanish-speaking community all around us.
Not an obstacle, it's actually a benefit. They can help each other.
It wasn't. They're reading to me in English, and then they turn around and read to me in Spanish.
She knows how to read now in Spanish and English, and I'm surprised how well she learned and how fast she did.
All of a sudden, she was reading it in English and translating it into Spanish, and I realized that she could do both. It activated that part of the brain that understands how reading and writing works.
Están construyendo a través del juego, a través de experiencias didácticas, a través de el desarrollo progresivo de su pensamiento crítico, pero en otro idioma.
They're sponges at this age. They're just soaking up everything that we have to offer, and they're excelling in both English and Spanish.
Here at Sherrills Ford, we have a 90-10 model, and what that means is that our students are fully immersed in the Spanish language 90% of their day.
At St. Stephen's, we have a 50-50 program, and that means that on one day they're in Spanish, the next day they're in English.
Our international teachers that we have an opportunity to interview and to hire from other countries, those teachers not only bring the language with them, but they're able to bring the culture, which is a great thing for our students.
She's lived and breathed it. That's where she was born. That's where she raised her own children. Now she's taken multiple opportunities to interact with classes that she had back in Mexico. And they are conversing with them through technology. And it has been a beautiful model.
It is important to have a global immersion dual language program, because that will give them an opportunity to be global students, to know more about different cultures.
That it's not just Sherrills Ford, that there's a whole big world out there outside of us.
Why is that important? Well, to be comfortable with people from different backgrounds, that's a huge skill to have.
Immersion class has allowed her to share her own culture with her classmates.
You know, we have certain Hispanic population in the classroom, and when we celebrate, we look at other cultures and we celebrate their holidays. We did Spain for Christmas, we've done Honduras, Vietnam, Laos. We're looking at other cultures. It's not just the Spanish language, but being global. A lot of these kids that come from the Hispanic community have celebrated it in other countries, and they bring that into the classroom. That's really amazing to see. A lot of the parents do not speak Spanish. What if I don't speak English? Well, we have resources. There's always videos, there's books, there's an app for reading so the kids can access that app.
The most important thing that you can do for your child in Spanish immersion is just to keep reading with them at home. Read in English, read in Spanish, just keep up the language that you've been speaking all along with them. As a parent, it's understandable to have a fear that you're putting too much on your child. We have to remember as adults that our kids have only been on this planet for a few short years, and almost everything is a new experience.
In fact, that's when they're learning the most at this age, and we have to capture that. So when they start in kindergarten and they're able to learn this language and that language at the same time, it's actually activating different parts of their brain.
At this level, it's a great opportunity for the kids because, for one, they can really just focus on language learning. They already do that anyways as part of the elementary curriculum. When they come to school, everything's new to them. And so them being part of this Spanish, English dual language program, it's just Wednesday for them.
And they're just having fun. They love coming to school every day. They love learning, and they love taking all that home and telling their parents or their siblings about what they're learning.
She's always using it around us. She has lots of things she knows how to say, and she could probably get by in another country knowing what she knows right now. So that was really impressive.
Este es para tú. Gracias. De nada.